Occurred to me that I didn't actually spend the time to make a clip of me describing what this project is. We want to take a beehive and add electronics to it so we can determine its temperature, its weight, and its humidity. These are all the parts, and as you can see, we got the driver for the weights, a temperature sensor, humidity sensor, and an RP2040 feather. And this is a Adafruit board. And we're going to be using these parts, and we're going to use MicroPython to program everything here and get it all working under control. I think I should be able to do this under a week, but the first thing we're going to do is we're going to set up something simple. I think we're going to do either the humidity sensor or the temperature sensor. The temperature sensor would be cool because then I can, find out what temperature my room is, but humidity sensor too, I can do that. Yeah, okay. So first things first. So I'm going to put these pins going here like this. Let's see, we only need that amount, so I'll break those off so that fits in there. And this board will go on here. We'll just do a quick dry fit. I'm not going to put it all the way in, but I'm just going to lay it out. Put that there. Put the humidity. We need to take this board and we need to solder these pins to it. Now that we got a decent looking workspace, we can get started. Alright, now this piece is all done, it's all connected. We can head back upstairs to my computer to get this all wired up so we can use this temperature sensor and the humidity sensor. A lot of people have different methods for getting started when programming these things. At least before AI, I would just go directly to YouTube videos to get started. I mean, when it comes to getting boards like this to work, unless you have a much larger base of knowledge to start with, it's hard to get these things working. I mean, I remember when I first started with like boards like this, I went for like weeks or maybe like I think a week and a half just trying to flash it, get it right. And you have all sorts of problems. Sometimes it's the wire for some reason isn't working, or the plug, it's not the software isn't detecting the port at which the board is on. You uploaded the wrong .uf2 file for a different board, or you're coding in a different language because there's MicroPython and there's also CircuitPython. So there's a lot of different things that could happen. So getting it to work is difficult. I usually start with AI, and then once AI gives me a breakdown of like simple code, like turn this LED on and off. Alright, breakdown. You need this .uf2 software, you need this, and then once I have those resources to start, then I can start digging into them and tearing them apart. So for this board specifically, there's an onboard NeoPixel here, and I'll show you it right now when I plug this in. See that onboard NeoPixel that's right there? Now you see how it's changing colors. Now to get it to change colors like that wasn't that easy. It probably took me a good half an hour to an hour just to do that little thing. And the reason why was because the normal code that I wrote, that you'd write to control this pin, was not correct. And to reference this pin on CircuitPython is different than MicroPython. So I had to make those adjustments, and those adjustments aren't easily found. And I even went to the documentation, and it weren't there either. And AI didn't help me either. So you have to come up with your own solutions and try to figure this stuff out. But as you can see, I spent a little bit of time coming up with my fun little program. It just goes up then turns off down, and this will run infinitely. But let's try to get this temperature sensor working now. Let me start wiring it up. Quick code on using chat, and we are going to see if this works, and then I'm going to go to the documentation for this library I found. Alright, good news. We were able to make good progress, and now the temperature sensor is working. As you can see here, it is showing temperature, and I was holding onto it for a little bit, so you see it shows up as 80 degrees. But that is not true. I was just holding on to it, so it is warm right now, but it is slowly going back down to the correct temperature. I found this example online, and I used this example, literally just copy pasted. I made just a couple adjustments up here, and that's it. Like, I don't know why I did pin on pin. You can see here this line, pin to P0. I'm like, that was weird, so I just did pin 9, because this is proper syntax. I don't know what this is. Pin a pin. I don't know, but next step is to also get this humidity sensor working. I want to get them working at the same time, and that'll be great. Somehow I lost the video of me getting this working. However, it does work. In fact, I can pull it up right here. And if I run it, you see it's getting the temperature and the humidity. And I'm really happy about that. So there's 41% humidity in my room right now, which I have no idea if that's a lot or not, but I will learn. And it's showing 79 degrees Fahrenheit. And if I open up the other sensor, so if I get the other sensor running as well, so if I stop whatever is running now, and I start this one, you see we're getting temperature 76, which is very close to the same temperature, 79. So I don't know which one's actually more accurate. This is the humidity sensor right now, then the temperature sensor is doing, I think this is more accurate. I don't think it's 79 here. I think it's 76. So it looks like I'll probably stick with the temperature sensor for doing its job, and the humidity sensor can stay with its job, you know. But looking forward to verifying these accuracy of these things as time goes on.